Okay, so we're looking at 12E. I know Ryan's listening. Anybody else on the listen? Beth, Georgie, Woody. Cool. Excellent. Okay, guys. The important thing that you only need to remember, and then you'll find these ridiculously easy, is whatever number is here, you have to find two numbers that when multiplied together give you, in this example, 33. All right, when you multiply them together, two numbers give you positive 33. It's a whole lot of numbers. Okay, there's 11 and 3. That gives you 33. 11 times 3, yeah? There's negative 11 times negative 3. That gives you positive 33. Yeah? There's, what else is there? That might be about it. 33 is not a big one. Oh, there's 33 and 1. And there's negative 33 and negative 1. Monique, if you can just pay attention, even though you say you've got it from the example, just keep paying attention. So what you have to do is you need to pick out of these numbers out of those numbers, and they stick together. So we use these two numbers to get 33. The same two numbers that you use to get 33, when added together, have to give you this number. Okay? Yeah, so it's relatively easy. That one, if I just chose these two sets of numbers, they give me 33, but they don't give me 14. 33 plus 1 equals 34. Doesn't work. So that one doesn't work. Negative 33 plus negative 1 gives me negative 34. That doesn't work. I know this is really obvious for this one, that it's 11 and 3. When multiplied together, they give me this. But when added together, 11 plus 3 gives me 14. When I've got those two numbers, 11 and 3, my answer is written as such. 11 plus 3. X plus 11, X plus 3. I grab those two numbers and they're in my solution. So to solve these, one, you've got to know your times tables really well. If you don't, just grab your diary open or use your calculator. It's the two numbers which are multiplied by together to get that number. Those same two numbers must be added together to give you that number. It's almost like a problem-solving number exercise. All right? When we get a little bit more difficult, it's when they get into these circumstances here. Let's do this one. Two numbers together multiplied to give you 20. Sorry? 2 times 10 give me 20. 4 times 5 give me 20. Yeah, but how? So Ryan's picking it up pretty quick. He's looking at it and saying, I know they've got to sort of equal this when I add them together. So he's keeping an eye out, and the moment you said 4 times 5, he goes, it's got to be around those numbers. Because he knows that it's got to link into here somehow. But it's not quite those numbers, because 4, remember, to get this one, we have to add these two numbers together. And 4 plus 5 doesn't give us 9. What is it? Minus 4 times minus 5. That gives you positive 20. And minus 4 plus minus 5 gives you minus 9. So therefore your two numbers are x take 4, x plus 4. Sorry, my apologies. X take 4, x take 5. So you're just transferring this number into here, this number into here once you've got those numbers. At all times, it's two numbers which multiplied together give you this, but those same two numbers must be added together to give you this. Okay? And that's the process. If we look back at the way they start the question really quickly, and this won't take 30 seconds, how they start you off is to get you thinking about the sum being add and the product being multiply. So in this one, find two numbers which have a product of 7 and a sum of 8. So two numbers which have a product of 7, 7 and 1, and a sum of 8. I've got my answer there. The two numbers are 7 and 1. So they ease into it really simply with these questions. Then they get a little bit more challenging after that. Can I explain that better for any of you, or is that okay? So two numbers together, multiplied together, gives you the last number. Those same two numbers must be added together to give you the middle one. And it's a really quick process, which I think you'll like. Okay, so the same deal exists. Okay, so if we look at this one, for example, we've got to have two numbers that will equal -6. Yep. When multiplied together will equal -6. So we could have that, we could have that, we could have that, and we could have that. And then you're probably intelligent enough to go, okay, that's my one. Alright, is that. And then you just put it in, that's right, to this setup, always. So one is take 6 and one is +1.
How they explained that I did it.
Okay. Do you want to try and do another one, or you're okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what they're saying there, first of all, if we read the question, they're asking you, Luke, determine whether each expression is a perfect square. So it's not saying that it is, determine whether it is. So, as we've done with the remainder, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? Because you've got a +9 in here. And you've got a y and an x. Would you determine that as being a perfect square? What have you done back here? Let's go through this one. How did you work this one out? Did you do D?
I didn't do D.
Jeremy, concentrate. Didn't do D. Did you do E or C? E. Let's go through E then. So, what were we tasked with there? Find a multiple of 16, 28, and 49. Is that what we did?
Yeah. Yours is on 70 something. I'll shoot the rest of the day.
Okay. I'm just asking, how did you go about solving it? Okay, still stumped, that's fine. Let's have a look up. So what they've done is they've said it's +2 times A, it's that process, isn't it? A squared plus 2 times A times B plus B squared. Yeah? Alright, so let's go back. 4J, wasn't it? Let's start with here. Okay, so can we square root 16? What does that become? That becomes 4x squared. Then what has to happen? Plus 2 times x. Alright, and if I do 2 times 4x, What do I have to multiply 2 times 4x to get 28x? Four times 2 is 8. Does 8's going to 8's going to 28? Do 8's going to 28? Not a perfect square. Couldn't solve it. Determine whether each expression is a perfect square. So clearly there's some chucked in there that aren't perfect squares. How might we start to go about solving this? That'll do. What's the first process we might go through?
Well, you have to the 4x squared, you'd have to do 2x.
Okay, you'd have to square root the 4, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It'd be 2x squared. That would become your A. What comes next?
Plus
What are you doing?
2 times 3.
Why 3?
Something times 34.
Goes
Times
9.
Remember we had our A
7 times
squared plus 2AB plus B squared.
7 times 3. 7 times 4.
Oh, that's
34.
2
2 times 2x times that would give you the number.
Yeah.
2 times 9. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12.
Yeah, hang on. I've lost myself there.
This process, left to right, you've got this and you've got A. That's your A. Plus, left to right, 2 times A times, and you find your B by saying whatever these two multiplied together is, it's got to be multiplied by something to get whatever's in the middle.
Yeah. But
Is that possible?
no.
Not currently. But what I'll suggest to you is you could rearrange this formula. Bearing in mind that we want it to look a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Try and go through the process with that. This process.
Yeah.
From left to right. Call me over when you've finished it, mate. Alright, does that give you a start on it?
Yeah.
Right, and then call me. So all they're trying to achieve here, Ryan, is to get a number out the front, okay, and then everything in the brackets is x squared onwards, okay. So let's try B. Yeah, okay. So is 4 a multiple of each of these? It is. So we can put that out the front, and what that leaves us with is x squared, because that times that is 4x squared, plus, we wouldn't put 28x, because 4 times 28 is a lot. You only want 28? Yeah, 7, that's right. So it's plus 7x plus 10. So we end up with that, okay? We just keep bringing down the 4, and then we go through the same process, 2 numbers multiplied together to give us that, which when added together give us that. So same process. So you'll end up with, and I'll do this because y'all know you know it, it ends up being that.